Hello, amazing listeners. Welcome to the podcast where we talk about the complexities of adulthood, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I am your host, Bukola. You just stumbled on the right podcast. If you're tired of figuring out this adulthood phase all alone, now let's do it together. Can I be vulnerable on today's episode? I trust you said yes. So I'll go ahead. I've been thinking about how figuring out what we want from life is a very demanding exercise. It is emotionally draining. We're constantly asking ourselves the questions: what do I really want from life? What is the end goal? Is this whole thing really even worth it? So many questions comes to mind when we're trying to understand our purpose, when we're trying to understand why we are here on earth. The process of figuring out life, the process of figuring things out requires a lot of intentionality and flexibility. And the trickiest thing about it is a lifelong process. It is a process that never ends. Intentionality because you have to be aware of your end goal. You be aware of the kind of life you want to live at the end of the day, yeah? Flexibility because we have to also realize that there is no one way to achieving the kind of life we want to live. There are different ways to get there. 1 minute we think we have it all figured out. We think we have everything under control. The next minute we're trying to stay afloat. The next minute we're trying to still hold on to the plans even when they are not working out. I've realized that many people tend to hold on to plans that are not working out because they are afraid that people will see them as failures if they derail from the plan, if they let go of the plan. I was talking to a friend recently about how I think I come off as an unserious person without a career focus because of the different career path that I have explored. I've worked as a virtual assistant, I've worked in customer service, I've worked as a lecturer, I have worked in product management, I'm currently podcasting, and I'm doing my master's. And I felt really bad about it, and I was just wondering how far I would have gone if I had just chosen one of those career paths or I've stayed in one of those jobs. While I was having that thoughts, while I was feeling bad about myself, a question came to my mind, and the question was, would you have actually felt fulfilled if you had not taken all the decisions you've made so far? And when I asked myself this question, I just felt, okay, I would have felt caged, I would have felt stuck if I had not left those jobs. Many people find themselves stuck in unfriendly, harmful, and stagnant situations because they are just so scared to leave. Most of us are scared to start over again because we are so concerned about what people will say. We are so concerned that people will call us failures when we do. We will come off as unserious when we do. We worry about the what ifs. What if we don't get something better after leaving a toxic situation? What if it doesn't go well after leaving that job? Firstly, before we move further, I just want you to know right now that there is always something better for you. There is always something good waiting for you. We're not created, we're not born to be in toxic situations. We're born to live life to the fullest, and we would only do that by fearlessly and relentlessly going after what we want. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the fear of starting over and how we can navigate it. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of the conversation, how are you? How are you doing? On my end, it has been a bit hectic. Baby girl's been maintaining composure through it all. I've been struggling with something I named mental block for the past 2 weeks. Let me try to explain how I've been feeling. Probably you would have a better name for it. The problem I currently have is I'm unable to think deep about certain things. I'm unable to just do the mental exercise of thinking, basically. That's it. I just feel so stressed. I feel so burdened mentally, and rather than tasking myself by thinking about stuff, generating ideas, and I don't know, lazy around. I understand there's a problem. I'm trying to brainstorm ways to move past it, but if you also have ideas on how to deal with this mental block, let me know in the comment section. Now let's dive into the conversation of the day, and please do not forget to let me know how you're doing in the comment section. I look forward to seeing your responses. Right before we dive in, let's hear what these amazing people think of the adulthood phase.
Adulthood is responsibility.
Adulthood is complicated.
Adulthood is growth.
Adulthood is maturity.
Adulthood is being independent.
Adulthood is stressful.
Adulthood has been confronting.
Adulthood is draining.
Adulthood is decision making.
Adulthood is resilient.
Adulthood is overwhelming.
Adulthood is fun and adventurous.
Remember, I'm not here to demonize this phase, but to say it as it is. The fear of starting all over again after investing our resources into the success of something that did not go as planned is very common. It is not only restricted to the professional aspect of our lives like career. We can also experience this fear in our relationships, in our friendships. In fact, the first time I felt this fear of how do I start again, the first time I asked myself the question, where do I start from, was when I had to end a 2-year-long relationship on the grounds of cheating. I was caught up in a very disrespectful situation and I was supposed to break up without a second thought. But I found myself constantly asking the question, where do I start from? How do I move on? Will I ever meet somebody else that would love me? What will people say about me? I had all these questions in my head and my friends really supported me through this phase. They kept on reminding me. I was really young when this thing happened, Seth, but I'll not be disclosing my age or anything because my parents might be listening and I don't want questions. Anyways, I was really young at the time, but I was dating to marry because the idea of relationship I had in my head was one that should lead to marriage. So my idea of relationships too were relationships need to start early years and they should end in marriage. So I was taking a lot of things I should have not taken because I felt I needed to stick to the relationship. I was so scared to let go. I was so scared to start again. Most of us have been indoctrinated into believing that sticking to a particular thing, sticking to a particular person, sticking to a particular relationship, or moving through life in a linear process is the only way to live life. And as such, we find ourselves holding on to things that are meant to be left behind to prove a point to ourselves, to prove a point to society. We find ourselves holding dearly to things that are harmful to us, to things that are hurting us, because we just feel they complete us. This process of holding on to things, of not knowing how to let go, of not knowing how to start again, do us more harm than good. We feel holding on to one particular thing for a long period of time is the way to go. These things have made us believe that we just have to stick to something, come rain, come sunshine, and make it work at all costs. While having a particular thing that works is not bad, it's good. I would always say I envy those people that are able to figure out the career path they want in life really early and they're able to go after it heads on. But we just need to understand that staying in a particular position or staying with a particular thing, so far it does you good, is fine. And also leaving a particular thing because you don't find fulfillment in it, because it doesn't do you any good anymore, is also fine. There is no one way to live in life. There is no one way to doing things. We don't have to stick to a linear process. And that's why I would emphasize on the flexibility of the process of figuring things out. It's not static. It's not one way. It can change. And you should be open to this change. You should be open to letting go of things, letting go of people, letting go of situations, relationships, jobs, and positions on this process of finding out what really works for you while you're on this journey of discovering what you really want from life. We must give ourselves the grace to explore and try things out. Someone recently asked me, what is your dream job? I thought about this question for a while and I realized that I do not have a particular dream job yet. I have an idea of the particular life I want to live. I know I want to be happy. I know I want to make money from certain things I do easily. I know the kind of fulfillment I want to get from life, the things I need to do to get there, the kind of job I need to achieve, the kind of life I aim to achieve is unclear to me, and I think that's fine. I just told the person, my dream job is that job that would give me that this is it moment. I just want to have a job that I feel, yes, this is what I was born to do. Over time, I have come to the realization that figuring life out is an iterative process. It's not something you do once and move on. I'm big on having journals. I'm big on writing journals. So I write down my goals a lot. The goals I had written down when I was younger and currently the things I aim to achieve, things have changed. And as such, as things change, as you grow, as you change, your goals, what you want from life, figuring out life too never stops, because as you're changing, you're trying to figure out what next. You're trying to figure out what suits you better. You're trying to figure out what will give you that fulfillment you need from life. So it's an iterative process. You're constantly on it, you're constantly doing it, you're constantly trying it out. It comes with so many twists and turns. But the beautiful thing about figuring out life, or this process of trying to figure things out, is it gives us the lived experience that results in our growth. Try things out, you would get experiences from them, and like they say, no knowledge is lost. As you get the knowledge, you find yourself growing and becoming that person you want to be. I've seen myself really grow. Yes, I've watched myself grow in a better understanding of who I am and what I want from life. And I think I was only able to achieve this by going for things that I wanted at every given time. Fine, I might have realized after going for them that, oh, okay, it's not all that after all. It's not what I want. But at the same time, I've not been too scared to go back to the drawing board. So we just need to understand that figuring out life is not something you do once and move on from. You have nowhere to move on to. As you grow as an individual, what you want from life will just change. It changes with time. It changes with experience. It changes with growth. For us to explore life, for us to actually live life and know that we came and we lived, we have to be able to handle the fear of starting over again, because some things might not go as planned. It's not every time you plan things out that they will work out exactly the same way you have planned them out. Sometimes they'll give you a better result. Sometimes they can result to things that are even worse than what you were expecting. But in all of this, you must not be too afraid to start over again. You must not be too afraid to re-strategize. We must not be too afraid to go back to the drawing board. Not getting our desired results from something we tried doing, something we put our all into, doesn't make us failures. It just makes us realize that, okay, we're not good at that particular thing, and it's okay for us to try out something else. It's okay for what we desire to achieve in life to change. Change is the only constant thing. For us to truly live life, we cannot continually stick to playing it safe. We can't continually stick to doing the safest thing, settling for the safest option, staying in the safest job because we are afraid to lose it, we are afraid to start over again. Making decisions based on what is the safest thing to do will just keep us in this box. It will keep us in this space where we are not fulfilled, where we don't have satisfaction, where we just feel so thirsty. We're so scared to quench that thirst. For us to really grow, for us to really experience life, we should be ready to challenge ourselves and starting over again where we need to, re-strategizing where we need to. How best would you know what you want from life if you don't try it out? In fact, knowing when to quit something is a gift. It's a blessing. Knowing when to know that, okay, something is not working and you have to try something else is bliss. We need to always remember that people will always talk. Whether you stick to something that doesn't work for you, whether you move on from something that doesn't work for you, whether you're doing something that makes you happy, whether you're not doing something that makes you happy, people will always talk. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to live life on your own terms. Live life in a way that brings satisfaction and fulfillment to your soul. Remember, we said on the last episode, if life is worth living at all, then it is worth living well. And your happiness and fulfillment should be your priority. Happy life is subjective. What I see as a happy life is different from what you'll see as a happy life. So you have to define the happiness you want. What brings you happiness? What brings you fulfillment? What brings you joy? And do not be afraid to go for it. I don't know where you're currently at in your career path while you're listening to this. I don't know how many years you've invested in your relationship or in your friendship, but when the thing is not working out anymore, when the thing is not giving you the fulfillment you thought it was going to give you, when the thing is not giving you the satisfaction, when the thing is being toxic, it's being harmful to you and your well-being, please do not be scared to start over again. Please do not be scared to leave it. Don't be scared to move past it. That is what living life is all about after all. Then we seeing disappointment as a sign of failure, I think we need to start seeing disappointment as blessings. Every challenge we have had to face, every disappointment results in our growth. The relationship of 2 years I had to break up from helped me because I learned things from that situation. I know what I want. I know what I'll take. I know what I wouldn't take. I have learned different things from the different roles I have done. Like there've been some sort of character development that have happened with each role I've had to take, with each leadership position I have had to occupy. The disappointment is indeed an avenue for growth, indeed a way for us to understand ourselves better. I do not regret wanting certain things or trying out certain things in the past, because I would not have known that they were not good for me if I had not tried them out. I would not have known that they would harm me if I had not given them a try. I would have been living in this doubt. I would have been living in this maybe if I had tried it out, it would have gone well. So we should just always encourage ourselves to go for what we want, to try out things regardless of how much time we've invested in the previous things we're doing. The purpose of living life is to be happy, and if we're prioritizing our happiness, we'll constantly prioritize going after what we want as a form of being happy. Life is all about taking risks. Living life is all about taking risks, and it is never too late for us to take this risk. It's never too late for us to retrace our steps. It is never too late for us to try again. It's never too late for us to go for what we want. We just have to be determined. Like we said at the beginning, we have to be intentional, and we have to be open and be flexible to the changes that come with life. If it's not working, if it's harmful, if it's not fulfilling, let's embrace re-strategizing. Let's embrace rebranding. Let's embrace starting over again. This does not symbolize lack of direction of any kind, like some people would propose. It shows that we're a work in progress. It shows that we are constantly working on figuring out what's best for us, rather than being stuck with living the life we hate. Something that we found interesting in our 20s might not give us the joy and fulfillment in our 30s, and it's okay. It's okay for us to re-strategize. It's okay for us to start over again. Yes, it might take us time, it might take us more resources, more money, and strength. Yeah, we just have to find that strength to keep going. And if you're listening to this and you're not really sure about what you want from life, you really don't know what you want from life yet, I want you to know that it's also okay. It's okay for you not to know what you want from life yet. The only thing is you have to constantly work to identify what is it that makes you feel happy, and you have to go after those things without the fear of making mistakes. Yes, you might make mistakes. Yes, you might not do it well, but that's the process of living. That's the process of doing life. You learn from those mistakes. You might not do it well, but you can try again and you do it better. It's for us to just overcome this fear of starting over again, of picking ourselves up when we fall. We just have to understand that restarting life, re-strategize, it is part of the process. One thing I tell myself is I don't want to have I wish I tried this moment in my old age. I did not let other people dictate how I am supposed to live my life to me. I want to grow old knowing that I lived my life on my own terms. Trying new things, going for new opportunities can be fun also. You can make these things for fun for yourself, by coming to the acceptance that it's not a do or die affair. You're just trying it out. You want to have fun while at it. You give it your best, and if it doesn't work out, it's fine for you to leave it. It's fine for you to let go. Having this mindset would help you try out things more. It will help you step out of the box more often. It will help you understand yourself better. Remember, living life is our process, and we have to enjoy it. Like we said on the last episode, romanticize every moment of your life. Romanticize everything you do. Focus on being the most of you today, rather than just drowning in the fear of the unknown. Make the right decision you want to make. Make the decision that is best for you today, and tomorrow would actually be fine. Tomorrow will fall into place. Tomorrow would align with your today. So far, you're doing the thing you love doing in the best way you can. With dedication, with intentionality, we will be able to live a very fulfilling, satisfying life. After all said, this is the end of today's episode. That'll be all. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. Kindly remember to, if you're listening on Spotify, please follow the channel and drop your review, drop your ratings. And if you're listening on YouTube, remember to subscribe to the channel. It's a pleasure talking to you. Catch you on the next episode 7 days from now. Remember to live a fulfilling life. Remember, it's okay to start again, and we'll figure these things out together. You're not alone. Before I forget, I would like to inform you that some changes have been made towards the structure of the podcast. Due to some technical issues, the podcast will only be available on audio or in audio format. On YouTube, it will still be available on YouTube though, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music. However, I would have to take a break of recording videos for now. I would miss making up, dressing up, and making my videos, and I'm sure you also miss seeing my face on your screen, but I'm working on getting a balanced arrangement moving forward, and I hope we're able to figure things out better in the future. But thanks for listening. Catch you on the next episode. Do not forget to live every moment and leave no room for regrets. Remember to follow this channel so you get notification whenever I drop a new episode. Thank you. Bye.